Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann here on ON, AM, and FM, Friday morning, July the 11th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Nice to have you with us. Dave Richards is here. Good morning, Dave.
Greetings.
And Melissa Murray's here. Hi,
Good
Melissa.
Good morning.
And Town Administrator from the Town of Lincoln, Phil Gould, is joining us once again. Good morning to you, Phil.
Good morning.
Glad to have you here. And we'll be talking things about Lincoln in just a second. But our first segment sponsor of Coffee Ann is the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. What do you see in your inbox, Dave, from the Chamber?
I see a letter from our President and CEO of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce, Liz Catucci. And I'm going to read it because I wasn't told that I couldn't read this. And a lot of people in the business community may have heard about this already. It says here, it's with mixed emotions that I share the news I'll be leaving the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce in early September.
Wow.
Liz will be moving on to another thing, and she's got plans for her successors and the rest of that. Board's working on the matter and all the rest of that. That's some news from the Chamber that you may or may not have expected. That's for sure. And of course, then there's the list of interesting things going on. Right now in July, not a whole lot going on. You'll get a chance to see Liz at the Welcome Wednesday Networking on August 6th. She'll still be with us, 8:30 to 9:30. And it's at the At Work Collaborative in Providence. And then later on in August on the 13th at the Yunkel Mexican Grill in Cumberland for the networking pop-up there. And of course, also she'll probably be gone for the golf outing. Mm-hmm. Yes, but and we had some conversations, she and I, about having her send a representative. Obviously, this thing that's come up has changed her priorities of coming on the show. So that's what's going on at the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. If you'd like to find out more, you can simply call them at 334-1000, but you can't do that till 9 o'clock when they start answering the phone for the day because they're a 9 to 5 business. Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce sponsors the first portion of conversation on Coffee Ann every Friday morning.
Thanks, Dave. All right, so here's something you don't have to worry about, Phil. And this breaking news out of Providence. Providence police have pulled a man's body from the river near the pedestrian bridge early this morning. Police said the man appeared to be in his late 20s or early 30s. The medical examiner will be examining the body. Providence police have marked off the area with yellow crime scene tape.
Of course.
And that's it. That's all we got right now. Yes, it is. So you don't have to worry about that. Didn't happen in your town.
One thing I don't have to worry about.
That's right. How did the 4th of July...
Brings back some memories for you, does it?
Yeah, well, that's right. Former police officer.
It's funny because yesterday I attended active shooter training. We're running at the high school.
Yeah.
And I went to watch the tail end of it and see what was happening, but I kind of missed those days. You know, I'm sitting there for a couple hours and I'm like, life was a little bit easier when I was just a police officer.
Well, that's
unusual.
Yeah, that's a big statement.
Maybe you have a personal observation about this, and you'd be the right guy to ask. Because I know that a lot of people who become police officers feel like, when they leave this planet, they want to have made a contribution. That they use their time to serve their fellow creatures the best way they can. They have the talent for it, and they do the job. And they don't get thanked an awful lot for it. And you move to another career that's exactly the same.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is true. You know what? Ironically, or maybe just conveniently, out of the 39 cities and towns, I think last count, I think there were 10 or 11 of us former law enforcement that are now CEOs of communities, whether it be mayor, administrator, manager. Yeah.
Wow.
So it says something about the skill set you develop over the course of your career.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Making a difference, but not always appreciated.
We have several in the Senate as well.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Former
yeah,
police.
right.
Okay.
Yep.
How'd the 4th of July weekend go in Lincoln?
It was really good. I was actually just got back myself from Bermuda on July 4th, so it was a quick turnaround. But yeah, no, it was a good event. You know, of course, responding to the fireworks calls because for some reason people don't want to just do them on the 4th. They do them
do the week before, the week after.
The month before, the month after.
2 weeks. Yeah, right.
But no major incidents as far as that goes. But no, it was a good 4th.
Good.
The weather, I think, cooperated for the most part, and Hopefully this weekend's going to be nice because we have a concert Saturday that we want to
Yeah.
get everybody out to Chase Farm for Dynamite Rhythm Band, which is
Oh,
at
yeah.
4 o'clock. And we had to cancel the
I
first
saw
one
the
because
sign.
of the rain.
I was
Yeah.
driving by yesterday down through the neighborhood, and I saw the sign there for the big concert tomorrow night.
The weather's cooperating.
So we had town administrator from North Smithfield, Scott Gibbs, on early in the week, and I said, "Is this an issue in your town?" And I was asking about any bears being spotted, and he said no. And don't we have a story in here? Not in North Smithfield, but they are being spotted around the state. A little more south of here, West Greenwich, Narragansett have seen bears, but nothing in Lincoln either, right?
You know what? Again, I try and not dive too far into social media, but that was actually a couple posts.
Keep your
on
sanity.
Lincoln, yeah, exactly. But a couple posts on social media, somebody alleging they saw a bear in
Thought
Lincoln.
they saw it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if that's confirmed, but
Hopefully a brown bear. They're the more timid type that
Yeah.
don't really
They move
interact
on.
too much with people.
hopefully not a lost polar bear. So
No,
No, you
we
don't want to deal with that.
No.
All right, let's jump into it, Phil. What's with the tax bills in Lincoln? What's happened?
So it's been a busy week. I'll say this. So we had, again, I thought presented a very good, well-balanced budget. Our tax levy increase was 2.7%, which was, I think, very good.
Pretty
compared
low
to
compared to other
a
communities.
lot of
Yeah,
other
very.
communities. But as we said, and one of the things you have to do is you figure out what that pool of money is you need to generate on property tax, both commercial and residential, and you set your rates accordingly, or you call them the mill rates for the commercial and residential. We operated on some information guidance we'd gotten from Department of Revenue that we were kind of stuck at holding those numbers as you raised or lowered. They were lowered as you lowered them, that they had to be uniformly lowered. Once people started getting their tax bills, and what happened was we had the statistical revaluation this past year, and residential property went up about 31% versus 10% on the commercial side.
Right.
And what happened was it kind of shifted that tax burden inadvertently heavy on the residential side and relieved a lot on the commercial side, too much. So this once people started getting their tax bills, we started getting some input. From some residents reached out and said, "Hey, my tax bill went up $1,000."
Yeah, why?
Well, exactly why. And
$1,000 is a lot of dough.
It is a lot of dough. I mean, there was a woman in the town hall the other day. She lives in a condo.
Yeah.
She's lived there for 30 years, 75 fixed income. Her tax bill went up $800 for the year. So we had to really get in there and say, how can we do this to a fixed income
Did
resident?
the state give you any help on that?
Well, we did. We got some further guidance from up a little higher up at Department of Revenue. Said no, there's conflicting legislation out there. Two bills. One that talks about it's
No.
a general.
Melissa, there would be conflicting
Never.
legislation in
Never.
the state of Rhode
That's
Island.
never happened.
But there was one law that was being interpreted when we first talked that talked about how you can adjust the rates. There's another bill that's on the books that we could rely on, which allows us that we can vary it a little bit. And so we spent the last few days looking at, okay, if we make some adjustments here. And again, you don't want to shift all the burden back on commercial.
No.
You try and find that happy, sweet spot balance that everybody takes a little bit of a hit, but you're not crushing anybody. So we went through it, and I'm going to go to the town council on Tuesday with the finance director and make a recommendation on another minor adjustment, which is going to have there's going to be a trickle effect. There's going to be work on our part to get these adjustments out there, which will probably be by way of
Well,
abatements.
it's going to cost you to send out new bills.
Actually, we'll give them to the state and let the state mail them out.
Oh, all right.
I'm not. We'll find out about that. But we work
There's
with
a possibility you might not have to lick all those stamps.
Yeah, I hope not. I just think of that Seinfeld
I
episode.
was thinking the same thing.
But we'll find a way to do it. But at the end of the day, I certainly want Lincoln residents out there listening. My plan of action is to go to the council, and we're going to adjust those rates accordingly to try and ease a little burden on the residents that might have got a little shock and awe when they got their tax bill. It'll take a little while to get fixed, but I think the important thing is identifying that there's an issue and we can address it. And the worst part was I went into this all feeling great because we didn't do a big levy increase, and I thought we were good to go. And I thought the budget was widely accepted at the FTM, almost unanimously at the FTM. So I thought, hey, we're great. But sometimes you have to recognize things pop up a little bit, and certainly want to try and make sure we take care of the residents and those folks that got some big tax bills because their valuations went up. We got to fix it.
So are you telling the residents not to pay the tax bill that they received?
No, so well,
That's
no.
a ticklish
is-
subject,
Oh,
isn't
I
it?
know.
No,
What they
there
do.
will be adjustments in the following quarters. So
Okay.
they should still expect to pay that first quarter, but there will be adjustments on the second, third, and fourth.
So it should be
quarters.
well, not much. Maybe that's the wrong word,
The
but it'll be
adjustments will
lower.
made, yeah.
Right.
Oh, when in the subsequent
And
quarters.
if the
Okay.
first payment was a little bigger than it should be, the next one will be a little less.
And this
I
will
get it.
again, and I'm sure that feel very confident the town council is going to be supportive of this. Because I've had a couple individual conversations with some of the councilmen,
Yeah.
because they also got the phone calls from residents,
And they got their bills.
and they got their bills. So
Oh, listen, you look at something like this and you try to follow the law, and then you find out that it doesn't work out so well. This happens, and you just try to take it cheerfully. Luckily, there was another course of action you could take. Then you look at everybody honestly, say, this is the situation. I know you're upset. Let's try this, and it's the best you can do.
and again, it was an anomaly with fiscal revals that 31% increase residential and only 10
Yeah.
commercial. In future years, that might shift. That might shift where you see
Oh, yeah.
I don't anticipate the market going down in Lincoln, but you could see a decrease on the residential side, an increase in commercial, and you still have, as long as you have the tool in the toolbox to make it fair and equitable for your businesses and your residents, you do what you have to do.
Well, in Woonsocket for years, it used to be the other way. They would push the commercial to the hilt in order to keep the residential happy, and because businesses don't vote. You're trying to be fair. We saw years here in Woonsocket where they weren't trying as hard as you are.
We're definitely trying because we appreciate our small businesses.
This is
and our
years
big
ago, by the
businesses.
way. In case
Yeah.
you're listening, Chris, this is years ago. Chris is doing a fine job.
And he was a business guy, right?
Yeah.
He came from the business world,
Yeah.
so he gets it.
All right, I think this event took place after the last time you were here, but you unfortunately we had a death at Lincoln Woods.
Yeah.
Was that a case of them? Had the lifeguards already gone home? And I know he was outside the swimming area, but it was later in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The swing area is so small.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was outside the swimming area where and we do have that sometimes where people, they don't want to go to the beach, they'll go somewhere else and get in the water, and that's dangerous. Particularly if you're not a strong swimmer. Stay where you are, swim when there's lifeguards on. But again, sometimes people didn't learn how to swim growing up, and so they take for granted that they go in and, well, I'll always have my head above water, and that's certainly not the case, and that's
Right.
very unfortunate. But we've had a few of those over the last few years.
Well, I know some lakes. I don't know if the pond we're talking about, and I've forgotten after all these years the actual name of the pond before the state took Only Pond. That's right. Is that spring fed?
I believe it is.
Yeah. That's why you keep seeing that. And we've got a little pond in Boroville that's the same way, spring fed. You're out there swimming, and you run into some really cold water. And on certain days, your body's a certain temperature, and you eat, it all has to do with your physique.
Cramps up.
And you get into water that's 15 degrees cooler than where you just were, and your muscles don't react the way that you're telling them to, and then you can't get yourself out of trouble.
The Spring Lake, are you referring to Spring
I'm
Lake
thinking,
over there?
I'm thinking Spring Lake. Yes, I can. Yeah.
Familiar with that.
Yeah, that's right. Spring Lake is the one, and there's places in there where, whoa, what just happened?
All right, we're going to take our break here on the Coffee and program. So it's time for a second message, Dave, from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce.
Short and sweet, 334-1000. Call them after 9 o'clock this morning. Find out how the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce can help you.
All right. More Coffee and coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
OM 1240.
They say in business you don't last very long if you don't know what you're doing. And if that's the case, we must know a thing or two at the Carew Investment Group because we've been in the business since 1987, helping people just like you with their investments. At the Carew Investment Group, we employ a conservative approach to client portfolios by using only the best quality companies available, many of which pay quarterly dividends. We look for opportunities that we expect to go up in value not every day, but over time. And we take our responsibilities seriously and always place our clients first in any investment decision. If you'd like to know more or would like a free portfolio review of your current holdings, you can call Paul or Ed at 765-8880. Our office is located at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island, and we'd love to meet you and see if we can help you with your investing journey. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $1 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores. It's Coffee and here on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Dave Richards, Melissa Murray, and Phil Gould from the Town Administrator from Lincoln. But joining us on the phone right now is Meg Rigo to talk about what's going on at the Levitt Amp and Socket Music Series this evening. Hello to you there, Meg.
Hello, good morning.
Good. So we're back strong this week after the 4th of July weekend off. Did you enjoy your 4th?
I had a wonderful 4th. Fireworks were beautiful. Weather was great. How about you guys?
Oh, it went well.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Little storm there, but no.
Little storm on the 3rd, but nothing to worry about. But no storms tonight, Meg, for Steve Smith and the Naked Truth. We're very excited that they're coming back 7 years in a row for these guys, right?
7 years in a row, and during that weird COVID blip, they also performed an online TV show for us. So These guys have been in Levitt as long as we all have been in Levitt. Very cool.
All right, and they always bring in a really good crowd, don't they?
They do. I think it's going to be a true party in the park, not only in terms of audience coming out to River Island Art Park, but the vendors and sponsors and other groups that are showing up tonight are also really coming in strong. It's going to be fun.
Who's the opening act tonight?
The opening act is a singer-songwriter named Mel. She lends more to country folk vibes. And to put the exclamation point on that, her co-performer is a banjo player.
Okay. We had Mel on stage before. Last year, wasn't it?
We did. Yeah, she opened for OCAN last year.
Lovely young lady. Very nice. Very talented.
She's got a set of pipes.
Yeah.
All right.
And good poise on stage, too, as I recall.
Tell us about the food trucks that are coming this evening.
Sure. So we've got a variety of them tonight. We have the Lobster Lovers coming back. Think lobster mac and cheese. We have the Hangry Italian. I think last time they didn't make it because something happened with their truck, so I'm excited to see what they're vending tonight. Japatty is coming. They make Jamaican meat patties. We have Ryan's Bakes. She does vegan baked goods. And then All Things Tropical. Who she does smoothies and fruits, and is also doing a partnership with Heroes, who is running our bar for tonight, where you could potentially buy something from her and then go over and buy something from Heroes to emphasize whatever you bought that was tropical.
Very cool. Kids' activities tonight as well?
So many things. So, of course, the Bubble Goddess, JoJo, will be there making massive bubbles. We have an awesome community member who showed up last week, and she was like, I want to put gems on kids' faces. So we have
gems?
this thing.
All right.
Gemmies. Yeah, it's almost like a temporary tattoo, but there's stars and rainbows. And so she's coming out this week and has a table set up, and we'll be adhering these gems to make everyone extra glowy. We have a group of students that are working towards their high school graduation volunteer requirement at Beacon, and they're running a friendship bracelet making table. And then we'll have our standard lawn games and a bounce house that are out there.
Lots of fun for the kids, right?
So many fun things. I would say extra special for tonight, or two extra special things. One is we're collaborating with the Historical Society. Not everybody knows, I know you guys know, but not everybody knows that underneath the Museum of Work and Culture, if you enter in off of Island Place, the Woonsocket Historical Society is there. And so the Historical Society is going to be in the park, and they're going to be running some type of raffle. So if you head into the Historical Society while you're at the concert, you'll get the ability to join this raffle, and then they're going to draw the raffle at the intermission of the show right before Steve Smith and the Nakeds take the stage. It's just a way to help people connect with their Woonsocket history and see all of that knowledge we have going way, way back. And then we're making tonight a recognition of national service. So probably do a military night later in the season, but all across the country there are folks that serve with a program called AmeriCorps. They get a really small living allowance for doing really great work in their communities. And this is all about, it was created out of this idea of poverty reduction. Lots of people work in schools. NeighborWorks runs a program that helps people to get access to housing if they're struggling with that. And it experienced some struggles over this past year. So we're having a recognition of AmeriCorps alumni who have dedicated a year of national service, and for those folks that are still out serving in their communities.
All right, Meg, very good. So it's Steve Smith and The Naked Truth tonight, 11 amp. Mel goes on first at 6 o'clock. The whole thing wraps up roughly around 9 o'clock. And we'll be talking to Steve Smith as he drives to Woonsocket this afternoon here on ON Radio. Quick little interview that I just found out about.
Awesome.
But that'll be fun. And so we'll have a great time tonight with the band and the huge crowd that's coming, okay?
And the beautiful weather. Thank you guys
That's
so
right.
much. Appreciate it.
All right, Meg, we'll talk to you later.
Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye. All right, Meg Rigo from the 11 Amp Woonsocket Music Series. All right, Phil, back to things going on in Lincoln. I don't know if
Can I just say I love
sure.
the name Hangry Italian. That is great.
Someone thinking right
Yeah,
there, right?
I love it.
I don't know if you get involved with this at all, but there was a business in Lincoln, Old Orchard Farm.
Yes.
Run for years and years and years, and then decided to retire.
Cemetery, yeah.
And then two women took it over, and things didn't work out. But have you heard about anybody else that might want to take that space over?
I haven't. I'm not sure where they're standing right now. It was a great place, actually. A long time ago, the Marcus, he was a retired police officer, but his family was involved in that too very long time ago. As I'm thinking a long time ago, I'm thinking how long ago I saw Steve Smith and the Nakeds. Wow, time flies, I guess.
Yeah. We used to get the phone call from Old Orchard Farm, usually in August. The native sweet corn is in. It was always the big announcement.
Yeah.
It's here. Come and get it, kind of thing. So I just didn't know if you've heard of someone else looking over there and see if something can
I'm
happen.
not aware of it. I do know that our community garden, which it's town property and town run, is doing fantastic, and they're getting ready to generate all their vegetables for the year. So they do a great job over there.
Anything new to report about anything going on over at Manville Park?
Well, I will. We were finally got all our cameras installed. So that was one of my big initiatives a couple of years ago. Was we're investing all this money into our parks, and be able to protect that and keep those safe environments for the kids that are going there. So we'd started off early with solar powered cellular cameras, which very, very limited. But we're spending a lot of money on our parks, which is important, and I'm glad we are. But we finally have cameras, so to deter vandalism and other things.
Was that an issue over there in recent years?
Actually, all our parks.
Are they?
You know, the problem is after dark.
All right.
People are not supposed to be in the park, but they go to the park, and once you start replacing different equipment, and you have to go in and start repainting walls, and some people they like being destructive, and it's. So now that we have the cameras up there, I'm excited. So we feel more, again, going to the budget board and the town saying we'd like to invest more money. I think they feel more comfortable knowing that we have some layer of protection there, along with having the police officers. That's one of the things that we pride ourselves out, is having police officers get out of the cruisers, get into the parks and make themselves visible and interact with the kids. Right now we're running our summer camp through Parks and Rec, which is,
Okay.
all our parks are very busy. At the same time, we've got 4 elementary schools that we're redoing, building new gyms at. So most
the
of
same time?
At the same time. So a lot of
Wow.
we've actually had to shift one of our parks to another park, the programming, just because
Get out of the construction
going
zone.
on. Yeah. So we have a lot of pieces on the chessboard we're moving around, but actually the construction should all be done by the end of summer, which we're excited for the school year, and we're pretty proud of our parks.
All right. Well, speaking of cameras, then, and some communities do it and some don't. Any talk of putting up cameras in the school zones and try to
catch
people speeding in the school zones?
So it's always a touchy subject.
Yes, it is.
Some people think it's a revenue grab. We last year I worked on a Safe Streets Commission, and it was through a grant money where we brought in different cross sections of our community to talk about how can we make our streets safer. And one of the recommendations by that committee was to put speed cameras in the school zones. Once that final report comes from them, I'll go back to the council and say this is a recommendation from the school the committee, and kind of get a litmus test, maybe see where the council feels on it. I personally don't think it's a bad thing. One of the things
Is that because you're a former police officer? You think it's
Yeah,
coming from that?
Nowadays we're really trying to push people to be a little healthier, walk to school, and you want those areas to be, slow
Safe,
down. We do put police officers out there, so a lot of times we take traffic posts. They'll take them next to a school, and there's another reason for that, because they identify that there's a police officer nearby. So if anybody has some bad intentions, they're going to think twice about it, but it slows it down. But this, I think, would be a good thing. There's a couple schools that are on highly traveled roads.
Elementary schools?
Elementary schools, the middle school by, and that's we have the air park up there, so we have a lot of commercial industry up in the air park where people start flying a little bit. And you've got CCRI and Davies, so I am not opposed to speed cameras. I think we'll discuss it. And you present it to the council. We'll look at the pros and cons. They go with it. I just would not want to have it interpreted as a money grab, cash grab, because that's a lot of times where that's the
Someone's
pushback.
always going to say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you spoken to? I'm just thinking Pawtucket has them and they're enforceable. Have you talked to Mayor Grabian about how it's working out in his city?
I haven't actually. I was going to reach out to a couple of the other folks out there, and along with the police departments, because it has to be managed somehow.
Well, right.
So
see how they do it.
and what kind of burden that puts on the department as far as municipal court, managing the tickets, prosecution. It's busy. But I will say that on the speeding front, the police department, Chief Fleming, has done a great job over the last year and a half to really get out heavy on the enforcement action, because that's the number one complaint we get from residents is speeding in
Biggest
neighborhoods.
one you get?
And we
In certain streets, I'm sure.
yeah,
keep popping
in
up.
neighborhoods. But 3 years ago, we used to get maybe 30 tickets a month at municipal court. We're getting about 300 a month in municipal court, and
Wow.
that's a small snapshot of how many stops and warnings go out. So it's not all about writing tickets, but it's about curbing bad driving habits, and we're getting pretty aggressive with that. And kudos to them. We actually had to add 2 extra municipal court dates to handle
Just
that
to
volume.
handle the volume?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's important. I think it shows a commitment from the police department of the town that we want the streets to be safe. And if that's another tool, maybe with the cameras in the school zones, so be it.
Okay. Do you find it's mostly out of town people, do you think, are speeding in these areas?
I think it's a mix.
Is
I think
it?
it's a mix.
Okay.
It's funny because we've had complaints where people are speeding in this in our neighborhood. You get 2 or 3 emails and phone calls, and we go out there and start with radar posts, and you find out that you're pulling over some of the residents. And
I live right there.
I got a ticket. Well, you asked for it.
All right, so you're gonna live with it now.
But,
So.
yeah, but it's I think we're moving in the right direction on that one. But
All right, great. Our time running out with Phil Gould from the town administrator from Lincoln. Just one more, wrap it up about the tax bills. And,
tax
tell them
bills,
what's
stay
happening.
tuned. On Tuesday, I'm going to town council. We're going to ask to adjust the mill rates. I anticipate it getting approved, and then there will be some adjustments coming out to follow. So if you were shocked when you saw your tax bill, hold on. I'm still paying first quarter, but hold on because we're going to try and
should get better.
Make a little correction as we go through. I do want to quick shout out to my neighbor Dave, who after the last show I was driving home goes, "Hey, I heard you on the radio," so he listens every morning. So Dave, if you're listening, thank you, and thank you for finding my dog, or thank your wife.
Very good. All right, Phil, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
All right, more coffee and coming your way. Time for the forecast, which is being brought to you by Indeed.com.
Partly sunny skies today with a high near 85. Calm wind. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, overnight low of 65. Saturday's weather, partly sunny, high of 84. Sunday, partly sunny, 83, calm wind. Monday, partly sunny skies, high of 84, breeze from the south. Tuesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 90 and a calm wind. Wednesday, mostly sunny and hot with a high near 91. And Thursday, partly sunny and hot with a high near 91 and a southwest breeze.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, cloudy skies and 65 degrees. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy, just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Wow, can you believe Gators Pub is celebrating its 35th year in business? Maybe the key to Gators' success is our super friendly staff. Or maybe the fact that the chefs at Gators are constantly making some of the freshest and most delicious dishes around. If you've never been, come on down and check out our great lunch specials from Monday through Thursday. They also offer complimentary soup during lunch. Watch the Boston Red Sox on one of our many TVs while enjoying classic apps like fresh potato skins or our famous pita chips. Come watch a volleyball game and have a burger or one of our newest cocktail creations. Gators is located on Route 102 in North Smithfield, about 1 mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Come say hello.
As drivers, we encounter motorcycles on the road every day, and motorcycle safety is a two-way street. So give motorcycles extra space when stopping and starting. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Share the road, but never try and share a lane. Every rider could be a father, a son or a brother, a mother, a daughter or a sister, or the whole world to someone very special. Brought to you by the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
Local and live at 99.5 FM.
It's Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan. Melissa Murray is here. Dave Richards has scuttled away somewhere, so okay. But Rich Elaine has joined us. Hello there, Rich.
Hey, good morning, everyone.
Nice to have you here. Rich Elaine from Post 85. And what's going on at the Post that everybody needs to know about?
We got a lot of stuff going on.
Do you?
It's
Well,
funny,
summertime.
we had that that 4th of July lull. Everybody took a break, and we just wanted to calm down a little bit. We had a lot of stuff going on right before the 4th, but things are starting to really pick up. In fact, tomorrow night from 7 to 11, we have a band in the pavilion, So Many Roads, and they're a Grateful Dead tribute band. Like I said, under the pavilion, weather's supposed to be beautiful anyhow, so we've got no problems with the weather stuff. There's plenty of outside, plenty of off-street parking down at the Post. The only thing we ask, and it really hasn't been a problem, but I like to remind people all the time, we have an outside beverage area. Mm-hmm. And that's how we make some of our money over at the Post, to keep things going and to help pay for the band. So we just ask all the people coming up for the bands, please don't bring outside beverages in with you. Okay? We're going to politely ask you once to put your outside beverages back in the car. And if you get caught a second time, we're going to politely ask you to leave.
All right.
And you can kind of understand that because, hey, that's the way we make money.
That's the rule everywhere that sells beverages. So, it's not unusual.
So we're happy to provide you with a good, and the thing is, we don't charge for the bands ever.
That's great.
So, you're getting this free music. So, just come and enjoy yourself and help us out at the American Legion Post. Help us do things out there, and that way we can keep providing for our veterans. But once again, that's tomorrow night from 7 to 11. So Many Roads, our Grateful Dead tribute band. Then the following Saturday, on July 19th from 7 to 11, we got Tucker's Creek. Tucker's Creek is a country music band, and like I just said, never cover charge to the band. So on Saturday, July 19th, if you want to come out from 7 to 11, enjoy some good country music, Tucker's Creek will be performing. Now, another thing is that, now this isn't what the Post is putting on, but Trish Parento, who I mention a lot here, that runs the cancer for women and men's breast cancer. She does a phenomenal job. She's a Woonsocket area lady. They're on Friday, July 25th. Their Boobification organization is having a little fundraising thing down at Fit and Field, at Holy Cross in Worcester, and you have a Worcester Bravehearts baseball team. Joe, you mind, who are they affiliated? I was supposed to look that up. Who are they affiliated with?
Oh, like in the Major League level?
Yeah.
I don't think they are.
No?
They're more just an independent team.
Independent league, okay. I didn't know, so I figured I'd ask a guy that might know. But anyhow...
quick question.
Yeah.
That got called in, 766-1240. How much is it for... You're going to repeat yourself here, but how much is the admission to Saturday night for So Many Roads?
$0.
$0.
$0. There's never a cover. There's never a cover for the band.
Just come on.
Never,
down.
ever. Just come on down and enjoy listening to them. But getting back to Trish's thing, Friday, July 25th, like I said, down at Holy Cross Fit and Field in Worcester. It's a fundraiser baseball night, basically. It's a group outing. Trish got a fantastic deal. You can go on. You can look up on Facebook, just search Boobification Woonsocket, and what you'll see there is you'll see a little blurb there for the baseball outing that Trish put up there. And what you do is you can press on the link that she has on there to buy a regular ticket just to go to the ball game. Now, if you want to be part of the buffet prior to the game, Trish has got tickets for that. You got to pay Boobification directly for that, and it also tells you how to do that. So, if you want a good night of baseball, and I know the barbecue thing before the game is at 5:30. So it's a buffet. That's $25, but that's a ticket to the game and the buffet. So. Come on out on Friday, July 21st, some good baseball. And like I said, just look up Boobification on Facebook, and you can find all the information there for that ball game. Now, on Saturday, July the 26th, over at American Legion Post 85, New World Wrestling Extreme is back for their Summer Sizzler. You can go to www.nwwextreme.com. and you can get your tickets there. I know they have a different variety of tickets for front row and second row and general admission. So, like I said, go to www.nwwextreme.com and you can find your tickets there. They're going to have a former Now, I don't know wrestlers. I mean, I know the guys from way back. But these guys.
The new guys.
Yeah, the new guys, I have no idea. But from what I'm understanding from James, the promoter, they're going to feature a former WWE superstar that was known as Real One, the number one. Okay, REAL 1. But he's formerly known as Enzo Amore.
I know, well, not personally, but I know who Enzo is.
You know who Enzo is? Well, I guess he went to the name Real One. Now, I don't know what name he is. But all I know is...
Sometimes the federations own the name.
Yeah, that's right.
And you can't have your name.
And when you leave, you can't take it with you.
That's right. So that's why they changed names.
Okay. So, but I did look up Enzo.
Okay.
And Enzo is a rather large human being.
Yes.
And I'll call Enzo whatever he wants to be called when I meet him that night. So if he wants to be called Enzo, if he wants to be called Real One, if he wants to be called by his real name, I'm happy to do whatever he wants,
Yep.
But anyhow, he's going to be there on Saturday, July the 26th with New World Wrestling Extreme. Now, one thing I'm extremely excited about, because Melissa and I have been kind of working together with this, and we've been waiting for, but the banner program that we unveiled at Memorial Day over at the World War II Park, the website is up. It is up.
Oh, great.
And the website is www.uvcwoon.org. And I'll say it again for those of you that want to get a pen, but it's www.uvcwoon.org. Now, what you're going to do when you go on there is there's going to be a couple of big squares at the top of the page, and you'll see it scroll by. One of them is going to say register for the banner program. Okay? Now, if you saw the banners that we unveiled at the park on Memorial Day, they're these like 5 or
So
6
beautiful.
foot tall
Yeah,
banners,
really beautiful.
couple of feet wide. And what we're going to do is we're aiming for Veterans Day to get them up on the telephone pole, on the light poles going through downtown Woonsocket. We got the mayor, Chris Beauchamp, has been great.
He's behind it all the way,
He's
right?
behind it all the way. We're going to get together with him within the next couple of weeks. We're going to talk about, how we're going to hang these. But these banners are only $175. And what you have to know about it is if we can sell at least 50 of them, $75 of that $175 that you pay is going to go towards a veterans relief program. We get so many calls of veterans on a Thursday night or a Friday night that haven't been able to link up with the VA in order to get some assistance over the weekend, that they're literally out in the street. We get so many telephone calls that they need a place over the weekend before they can get in touch with the VA.
Right.
And, and I've been involved in so many of these calls, and we have to find a place to get these veterans off the street. It's that simple. So
Could put them up in a hotel room for a night. It could
There you
feed
go.
them. It could, go to put clothes on their backs, whatever they need.
And that's, and we've been trying to fund that through the various organizations in the city, but hey, there's a lot of these calls. So, when that's $75 that you're going to pay, that $175 for the banner, that $75 is going to be well used to help veterans. So,
And you get to honor your service member, right? But they have to have a connection to Woonsocket.
yeah, and I got a great way of explaining that, believe it or not, because everybody thinks in order to buy one of those banners, you have to have a deceased war veteran. No, not the case.
Not at all.
Now, here's what happened just yesterday, as a matter of fact. I'm at my American Legion post. A civilian that's sitting there that comes into the post quite often says, I showed him a banner. He said, gee, I'd like to sponsor a veteran. I said, fantastic. So what he did is there is a Woonsocket veteran that I know extremely well, and I won't say his name out in the air because I don't want to embarrass him or anything, but anyhow, I called him. Now, what he was he was a Gulf War vet. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He was a Gulf War veteran. So what this guy is going to do is he's going to purchase a banner honoring this Gulf War veteran. Now, the Gulf War veteran that he's honoring, to put the Woonsocket link together, doesn't live in Woonsocket right now. Okay? But he was a Woonsocket resident before he went in the military. He was a Woonsocket resident when he went into the Marine Corps. And when he came home from the Marine Corps, he lived in Woonsocket.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
He no longer lives in Woonsocket. That's fine. That's fine. But he's got a Woonsocket connection. So that's one of the things with this banner program that we want to do. So anyhow, just go to that website that I gave you. If you're interested in purchasing a banner, hey, look, if you say I can't afford $175, go to your neighbor next door, and how many soldiers, Marines, Air Force people, Navy people, Space Force, whatever, how many do you know that live in your neighborhood? How many families do you know that have a loved one that's in the military right now?
Yeah. Serving right now. Right.
Yeah, you can honor them.
Mm-hmm.
You can put their name up, and when you drive through downtown Woonsocket, you'll see their nice big face on a banner. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So come on down, go to that website, purchase a banner. If you need any help, there's a phone number on there that people will help you fill out the form if you need help. If you need help, you can call the American Legion Post, 401-766-7585. Say, get a message to Rich. Tell him I need help with a banner. More than happy to get in
not
touch
everybody is tech savvy, and if you don't feel comfortable doing the information online, although we encourage you to do that because it's just easier. But if you can't, or you're having trouble, we can do it through paper.
And I know, I look at the clock, I know Joe wants to go to a break, but real fast, come on down and join one of the 4 entities at the American Legion Post. The dues are very minimal, and here's the big part of it. You join one of the 4 entities, after 30 days as a member, you can rent the hall or pavilion for half price.
There you
okay?
go.
So you can't get any better than that. So that's my spiel.
Very good, Rich. All right, more Coffee Ann's coming up. This portion of Coffee Ann has been sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
ON 1240.
Why'd I go to the doctor? My heart would race just taking my son to practice. It didn't feel right. So I got checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
DQ presents How to Make Your Summer Take Flight. Just head into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat. Treat your inner hero to an epic mix of sugar cookie dough, sprinkles, and cake batter flavor. Blend it all with legendary DQ soft serve, and it's enough to tempt Superman himself. Fly into DQ for our new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard Treat before it's gone. And don't miss Superman, only in theaters July 11th. DQ, happy tastes good. Only at participating locations.
ON Radio.
Coffee Ann on ON. Thanks for joining us. I'm Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray and Rich Elaine. And Rich, just for your, just so that you know, okay, the Worcester Bravehearts are a college collegiate baseball team.
Oh,
and they play in the Futures Collegiate Baseball League, FCBL. They're not affiliated with any major league team. They're an independent league, focused on developing college players to try to get to the major leagues.
Oh,
So,
okay.
basically kids.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Playing that league.
I've been to a couple of games down there to Fit and Field to watch
Yeah, Fit and
that
Field is
club.
right.
As a matter of fact, there was a local kid from Worcester that was former Red Sox catcher, Richie Gedman.
Yeah.
I think Richie Gedman actually coached that team for a little while, a few years back. But yeah, I mean, and if you've ever been down to that field, down a Fit and Field, I mean, it's a gorgeous facility. I mean, the field
It's
is
at Holy Cross, right?
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
All right, so how about this? Now we all followed either a little bit, maybe a lot, but the whole Karen Reed trial. But this is, how about the attorney that was the prosecutor? Remember they brought in, we got to bring in a special prosecutor, and this time we're going to take care of it.
Yep.
All right, he was paid $566,000 and lost.
I saw a further breakdown. I heard this morning, $250 per hour.
Yeah.
$250 an hour billing.
And it's paid for by the Massachusetts Norfolk County DA's office, which makes me glad I live in Bristol County, Massachusetts.
You paid for
Well, you know the cool part about attorneys, too? Like, you can get on the phone with an attorney, like, for 5 minutes.
Oh, they start the clock immediately.
Oh, no, but if it's $250 an hour, even though you talk to him for 5 minutes,
really?
it's $250.
Oh.
You took part of his hour.
But initially, he was supposed to be capped at $75,000 when he was hired in September.
Whoa.
However, his first invoice covering mid-September to the end of October was over $70,000, and his last 2 invoices covering late January through the trial were for over $330,000 in total, and he lost.
Well, and the fact that he lost is holy gosh. I mean, you know,
You gotta
no
pass
matter
the bar. I mean,
no matter how you feel about that trial, right?
Yeah.
You should have known from the very beginning of this retrial that this sucker was going nowhere.
Well,
I mean, all the lights and the bells and the whistles were
Yeah,
going off,
yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
So,
right.
hey, you know, good money going after a bad thing, as far as
well,
I'm concerned.
Look at it from his point of view.
Yeah,
He
he's
may-
happy.
He may have thought, well, I'm never going to win this, but look how much cash I'm going to make.
Yeah,
on this thing.
absolutely. It'll pay for that new swimming pool.
Yeah, and then some. All right, this is not a good thing. This stuff bothers me, and it's called disaster tourism, and you know what I mean. You know what it is? People are people who have no business being there are going to Texas, where the flooding has been,
yeah.
and they're trying to capitalize on this.
God.
I'm like, are you kidding?
Yep.
Andrews County Fire Marshal Jeremy Prophet says that social media influencers are getting into the disaster zone, compromising the search for victims. He says the only people allowed along the Guadalupe River are the verified search teams. They're made up of first responders and the military. There's also cadaver dogs, which are sniffing through the piles of debris. The search, he says, will take months. I can't believe people are going down there and don't want to help. They want to help themselves.
They just want to broadcast or.
Look how important I am.
Yeah, even worse than that.
wow.
Sometimes people will they'll bring down bottled water or whatever, jack up the price, and just
God.
take advantage of folks who are in distress.
Jeez.
It's really,
okay.
if you're not going to help, just stay away.
I saw a picture this morning, and it was legit. It were rescuers, and to just give a sense of what some of these rescuers are going through, it was a pickup truck turned over on its side, and it was literally, all you could see was, like I said, it was on its side. You could see the side door.
Yeah.
And the rest of the truck was still buried, and you could see rocks
Sand.
on
Yeah.
top of it
Yep.
and sand. That's how much. I mean, think about it. You got to be talking a good 6 or 7 feet from the bottom of that truck. Now, when these rescuers come upon that stuff, they have to search that truck.
Through it.
Yeah.
They got to
Know
go through
somebody's
that truck to
inside or
make
not.
sure nobody's in there, and it's just I can't even fathom what it might. I was with when Katrina went through New Orleans. I was in the reserves, and I went down there, and I couldn't believe the devastation.
is unreal.
But to think about what them people are going through in Texas is just horrible, absolutely horrible.
All right. What do you think about this? This comes up every once in a while in Massachusetts, and there's once again growing calls. They want to repeal the ban of happy hours in Massachusetts. It was first enacted back in 1984, so 45 years ago almost, to reduce drunk driving incidents. Now, State Senator, and I don't know what town he's from, State Senator Julian Sear says he wants communities to be able to opt in to happy hours if they so choose. He wants to leave it up to the towns, I guess. He believes lifting the ban would help businesses and nightlife in the state.
So they want to lift the ban on happy hour.
Lift the ban, but let the communities decide.
Well,
So maybe Bellingham says yes, but Blackstone says no. As an example.
that makes things a little more convoluted. So
Of course it does.
we don't allow happy hour here in Rhode Island, and there are folks who want to lift that
Lift it
to
here,
help
too?
the businesses. But then there's always folks who come in and say, my daughter was killed in a drunk driving accident, but then they're against any alcohol legislation, which I understand. It's that balance. I mean, giving that right to the local authorities. Here in Woonsocket, the city council acts as the board of license commissioners and liquor license commissioners. So, I don't know. Then how do you know, what your law? Nobody knows their local laws, right? So,
Look, you don't. And look, I'm down the American Legion Post, and here's what I will say. You got people, I don't care what the law is. I really don't.
All right.
Right? The people that are in charge of who walks away from your bar is the bartender. Okay? And you should not be letting people walk out of your establishment that have a hard time getting out of the chair.
Yeah.
Okay? It's that simple.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Now, I will sit there and I will readily admit, I've sat there and I've had the bartender look at me and say, Richie, yep, give me your keys. And I say, you got them.
Mm-hmm.
Call my,
Call an Uber,
honey, come get me.
yeah,
I'm
right,
fine.
right.
Yep. And
there
my
must be-
wife is
but
more
there
than
must-
happy to do
But
that.
there
And
must
then
be people that fight that, though.
yeah, that's
of course there
ridiculous.
are.
And that's where you tell a bartender, listen, you got people fighting you for that, then what you do is say, fine, you want to fight me for this, right? I'm going to keep arguing with you. At the same time, you're picking up the phone, you're calling the local gendarmes, and you're saying, look, this is the problem I got right here. And, you know, the thing is, take responsibility of your own establishment. That's the way I look at it, because guess what? If that guy gets stopped after he leaves your establishment, and he looks at the cop, and they go, oh, where was the last place you were? And he tells them,
Oh, they're in trouble.
you got problems.
Yeah, oh, sure.
You got problems. Believe me, you will not be selling alcohol at your establishment for quite a while.
Right.
So, you know, take care of your own place. Take care of your own place. But, you know, with the happy hour thing, if they do it in Massachusetts, and Joe, you brought up a great example like Blackstone and Bellingham. Well, guess what? If a guy finds out that he can get a bucket of 6 beers for $10 because it's happy hour, and all he's going to do is drive 2 miles down the road, guess what he's going to do between Blackstone and Bellingham? He's driving 2 miles down the road to save himself $5.
True story.
You know, that's that simple. That $5 is going to go towards the tip.
Oh, right. All right, let's see. Other things going on. California may soon ban plastic glitter in cosmetics and personal care products. You know why? They want to reduce environmental microplastics.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, God.
I'm conflicted on this.
A new bill would prohibit the sale of items like eyeshadows, nail polishes, and lotions that contain plastic glitter or tiny beads.
Mm-hmm.
It would mark an expansion of a 2015 law banning plastic beads in rinse-off products. The proposed ban would also cover household cleaners. Microplastics are linked to health risks, including heart disease and cancer.
Okay, so what about little kids' toys? Like, you know, little kids got the glitter stuff that they can put on their face and
That would
think
be
that's what they're
banned.
gonna. That's next, right?
Well, that would be next, because that's not considered like
Cosmetic, right.
It would it be considered
Okay.
cosmetic or not?
We definitely
that's next.
need to get microplastics out of the environment. They find microplastics in fish. They find it in human beings, right? It's bad.
Yeah.
But also, I love glitter. I'm so conflicted.
They're
on
finding microplastics like in food.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What
It's
are
like,
they
you got them in your, everybody, yeah.
I do like okay, it's
100%.
steak and like fish and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially in
And I'm
seafood.
70 years old and I've been eating
Especially
steak
seafood.
and fish and I'm still alive and I'm still doing
But what
good.
if I want my sparkly,
Well, see the water
lotion?
bottle I got?
I know.
Rich, the microplastics are in
Yes.
here.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? My God, Joe.
Darn.
Joe, I'm worried about you,
Yeah.
man. You know, don't worry. You can move to California. You won't have to worry about it
Oh, you
anymore.
won't anymore?
What a
Oh,
screwed
right.
up state. That's all I got to say. My poor granddaughter right now is in California for like a flower symposium and stuff. So
Oh, she's not
I
staying
just,
there, right?
I just hope she don't go woke on me in a week. That's all. Are you all right, Melissa?
I was going to take a drink of water, but I almost choked.
Steve, do you like that one?
That was great.
You like that one?
You walk over that California border, you become woke. That's how it
God,
happens. That's how they get you.
That's how it happens?
Well,
Yeah,
well, she has texted me and said, I can't wait to come home. And she's only
Oh,
been
there you
there
go.
a day.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
All right, you have to be careful if you're gonna be in Attleboro, Massachusetts.
Attleboro, okay.
There's a snake that on the loose
Oh.
that
Oh,
shouldn't be there.
Yes.
It's a copperhead.
Yeah, super venomous.
Yeah,
Well, they belong to somebody and just like a
They might
snake.
have
It's
let-
not
let it-
native. Someone just.
they haven't said
No?
who, but it's out there.
It's not native to
a
here.
venomous copperhead snake has bitten 3 dogs, and one has died
Yeah.
due to the
Wow.
bite.
Yep. Yep.
It's in the 10-mile river that goes through Attleboro, so it's hanging out near the water.
I hope it doesn't have babies. Because they're like, oh my gosh.
So just
I don't know how that works with snakes.
I don't look at me. I don't either. And if I did, I don't think I want to go over.
No. They're like down south too, and like you know, if you're around lakes and rivers, when you're going floating on those tubes, I always
Gotta be
I'm not
careful.
going to go near the. Yeah.
So right now you got somebody going online going, how do copper snakes have
Copperheads.
babies? You know, so somebody's getting educated right now.
Call us up and let us know.
All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening. Our thanks to Phil Gould, Town Administrator from Lincoln, who joined us today, and our thanks to Meg Rigo, who joined us as well, and to Dave Richards and Rich Lane. Thanks for coming in as well.
Hey, come on to the Post tomorrow night. So Many Roads, Grateful Dead, cover band, 7 to 11 p.m.
Very good. And Melissa Murray, thanks for being here as well.
Thank you for having me. Have a great weekend, everyone.
All right, thanks for joining us today. I'm Joe Callahan. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do remember is coming up after the 9 o'clock news, and I'll be talking to Steve Smith of Steve Smith and the Nakeds in the 2 o'clock hour here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are visiting Kerrville, Texas today to look at the damage caused by last week's floods. White House says the president will meet with first responders, receive a briefing from local officials, and meet with some of the family members affected by the tragedy. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officials don't